Welcome to Wisdom Unveiled. Get ready to really dive deep into all this amazing Iranian philosophy. We're going to be focusing on one specific philosopher today, Saadi of Shiraz.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
Have you heard of him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his poetry is really well known, and his stories, like the Gulistan, it's so insightful.
Yeah. And you know what's really cool is that even though this stuff was written centuries ago, it's still so relevant today.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Like his take on human nature and, the search for meaning, it's timeless.
Yeah, for sure. So just a heads up before we start, we're working with translated conversations here with these two Iranian philosophy experts, Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani.
Yeah, they gave us 50 of their conversations, all translated from Persian. It's a huge project.
It's amazing. And we're going to be sharing those with you over the next few episodes.
Yeah.
So apologies in advance if some things get lost in translation. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we're going to do our best to bring you the heart of Saadi's message. Okay, so today we're starting with their analysis of this poem by Saadi, where he compares spring to a lover getting ready for a date. That's really romantic.
Oh, yeah. It's so beautiful. And the imagery is so vivid.
I know. Right, okay. So the poem says, the trees put forth buds, and the nightingales are intoxicated. The world has become young, and friends have gathered for love. The companion of our gathering always captivates the heart, especially now adorned with embellishments.
Wow.
I love that last line. So what do you think Saadi's getting at with these adornments of spring? It's got to be more than just pretty flowers, right?
Right. It's totally symbolic, which is hinting at this deeper meaning behind spring's renewal.
Okay, I'm listening.
He's saying that it's not just about nature. It's a reflection of the constant renewal that's happening all around us, in the universe itself, Even if you're not a spiritual person, you can feel that energy in spring.
That's true. You can just feel it in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And then there's that line about the nightingales being intoxicated. What's that about?
Oh, that's a good one. So in Persian poetry, the nightingale often represents a lover who's completely enthralled by beauty.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's not just bird singing. It's a metaphor for that feeling of pure joy you get when you experience something truly beautiful.
I like that. So Saadi's saying that connecting with beauty can be a spiritual experience in itself.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have to be religious or anything. It's about that feeling of awe and wonder that beauty can evoke.
Yeah, I totally get that.
It's being present in the moment and really appreciating what's around you.
Okay, but hold on. If every moment is full of this potential for renewal and joy, like you're saying, then why even write a poem about seasonal spring? Isn't that kind of a contradiction?
That's a great question. You're really thinking about this.
Well, yeah. It just seems kind of weird.
It's not a contradiction, though. It's more like Saadi's using spring as a metaphor that we can all relate to.
Okay, I see.
Imagine this. For someone who's really on a spiritual path, every moment might feel like spring full of new beginnings. But for most of us, we need those reminders, you know? And what better reminder than the actual season of spring with its cycle of death and rebirth?
I see. So it's spring is a tangible symbol of this deeper truth about the universe that's always there, but we just forget about it sometimes.
Exactly. It's like a wake-up call to appreciate the beauty and renewal that's happening all around us all the time.
And speaking of cycles, Saadi also compares winter to old age and spring to youth. What's he saying there? Is he just telling us to be young at heart?
He's getting at something even deeper than that, I think.
Oh, okay. Like what?
That feeling of excitement and wonder you had as a kid?
Yeah.
That sense of possibility?
Yeah, definitely.
He's talking about a kind of spiritual youthfulness that doesn't have to fade with time.
Oh, interesting.
It's about staying open and curious no matter how old you are.
So it's not about literally being young, but about having that youthful spirit.
Exactly. It's about approaching life with a sense of adventure and wonder.
I like that. And that reminds me of this story from Saadi's Gulistan, where he's a young, pious guy, and he's judging other people for sleeping through morning prayers.
Oh, I remember that.
His dad, who's this wise old dude, is like, hey, it's better to sleep than to gossip about people. You're not any better than them just because you pray. It's a good one.
It is. It's so insightful. What I find fascinating about that story is it shows that even as a young man, Saadi was already thinking about these big questions about piety and judgment.
Right.
But his dad wisely points out that it's really easy to fall into self-righteousness,
Yeah, for sure.
And that it's more important to be kind and compassionate than to judge others.
Yeah. It's a good lesson for all of us.
Definitely.
And it brings us back to the poem, especially these lines. The companion of our gathering always captivates the heart, especially now adorned with embellishments. What do you think these embellishments represent in the context of Saadi's philosophy?
Ooh, that's a deep one. I think they represent the ever-changing, never-repeating nature of the universe. Like every moment is a new expression of beauty. You know, it's never exactly the same as the one before.
So it's not just about seeing beauty in the springtime. It's about realizing that beauty is unfolding all around us constantly, if we're just paying attention.
Exactly. It's about being present and mindful and appreciating the unique beauty of each and every moment.
Saadi's really challenging us to up our awareness game.
He is. And he's saying that the best place to start is with our own hearts.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, Saadi, like a lot of people in the Islamic tradition, saw the human heart as the throne of God.
Whoa, that's a powerful image.
Right. It suggests that we each carry within us this sacred space, this place where we can connect with something bigger than ourselves.
It's like we all have this inner sanctuary where the divine resides.
Exactly. And this connection isn't limited to any specific religion or practice.
Right.
It's about recognizing the inherent sacredness within us and in the world around us.
And appreciating every moment as this precious gift.
Beautifully said.
It's like we're being invited to see the world through the eyes of that intoxicated nightingale, always ready to be enchanted by the beauty around us.
I love that analogy.
Me too. It really captures the essence of what Saadi's trying to say.
It does.
It's about cultivating that sense of wonder and awe and letting ourselves be swept away by the beauty of life.
Yeah. And it all starts with the heart.
The heart is the throne of God.
Exactly. Yeah. It really is a beautiful way to think about it. And it's so cool how Saadi connects these ideas, you know, like renewal and beauty to the heart. Like it's all coming from within.
Right. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that? Like, how do we access that divine throne in our hearts? It can't be easy to like cultivate that kind of awareness and wonder all the time.
You're right. It's definitely a process. It's not like you just flip a switch and suddenly you're enlightened.
Yeah.
But Saadi believed that it's about taking small steps each day to become more aware, appreciative of the beauty that's all around us. You know, just those little things.
So it's not about grand gestures. It's more about those little moments of mindfulness that add up over time.
Exactly. Like imagine taking a moment each morning just to watch the sunrise, feel the warmth on your face. Or maybe it's going for a walk in nature and really listening to the sounds around you.
It's about tuning into our senses and being fully present in those experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that makes sense.
My
But it's hard to do sometimes, right? Like life gets in the way.
Oh, absolutely. It takes practice and effort. But, you know, Saadi also talks about another powerful practice that can help us shift our perspective.
Oh, what's that?
Gratitude.
Ah, gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that would help. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it does change your whole outlook.
Right. It's like switching from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be anything big either. Like it could be as simple as enjoying a cup of tea or a sunny day or a nice conversation with a friend.
Exactly. When we take the time to notice and appreciate those little things, our hearts naturally start to open up.
And that open heart, that's what Saadi calls the throne of God, right?
Yes. It's like we're creating a space for love and compassion and connection to grow.
We're making room for the divine to enter our lives.
Beautifully said. And, you know, by cultivating gratitude and mindfulness, we're inviting that divine presence into our lives.
We're creating a space for inner peace and joy.
Exactly.
It's like we're tapping into that inner spring that Saadi talks about in his poem.
And the more we connect with that inner spring, the more we realize that we're not separate from the beauty and wonder of the universe.
We're all connected.
Yes, we're all part of this amazing tapestry of life.
It's both humbling and empowering at the same time.
It is. Humbling because it reminds us that we're just a small part of something much bigger.
Right.
And empowering because it shows us that we have the potential to connect with that infinite source of beauty and renewal.
That's the beauty of Saadi's wisdom. It's timeless and it speaks to something deep within us.
It does. It speaks to our longing for meaning and connection and joy.
And it offers us a way to navigate the challenges of life.
Exactly. It's a path to not just surviving, but thriving.
It's about cultivating inner peace and joy that can sustain us through anything.
And it all starts with a shift in perspective.
A willingness to open our hearts and minds to something more.
To see the world with new eyes.
And to embrace the journey.
Trust the process.
And let ourselves be enchanted by the beauty that's all around us.
Absolutely. And you know what's really amazing is how relevant Saadi's message is to our world today.
Right. It's like he's offering us this timeless antidote to all the chaos and uncertainty we're facing.
Exactly. He's reminding us that even in the midst of difficulty, we can choose to focus on beauty
Cultivate compassion,
and create a more harmonious world.
both within ourselves and in our communities.
And that's what makes Saadi's work so enduring. His wisdom speaks to the deepest longings of the human heart.
It transcends cultures and centuries.
And it reminds us of the power of love and beauty and the human spirit,
It's a message we all need to hear.
especially now.
So as we move into the next part of our deep dive, let's keep Saadi's message at the forefront of our minds.
Let's be inspired by his wisdom and try to cultivate a more mindful, heart-centered way of being in the world.
So we've been talking about all this amazing stuff, like the heart is the throne of God and inner spring and stuff. But how do we actually put this into practice in our daily lives?
Well, Saadi talks a lot about the importance of just paying attention, like really seeing the world with fresh eyes. Like you're seeing it for the first time.
Sort of like actually noticing those little details that we usually just kind of ignore.
Exactly. Like instead of just letting that beautiful sunset be like background noise on your commute home, actually stop and really look at the colors, the way they blend together.
Or like listening to the birds sing and actually trying to hear the different melodies.
Yeah. It's about slowing down and engaging your senses, really being present in the moment.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done, right?
Right.
Like life is so busy and hectic, it's hard to remember to slow down and just be.
Oh, for sure. It definitely takes practice. And it's not always easy. But Saadi also talks about this other really powerful practice that can help.
What's that?
Gratitude.
Oh, yeah, gratitude.
Yeah.
I love that. Like when you focus on all the good things in your life, it really does make a difference.
Right. It's like you're shifting your perspective from a place of lack to a place of abundance.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be these big, huge things either. It can just be like appreciating a cup of coffee or a sunny day.
Right.
Or a phone call with a friend.
Right. It's about those little moments of appreciation. That's what really opens our heart.
And that open heart, that's what Saadi calls the throne of God.
Exactly. It's like we're creating space within ourselves for love and compassion and connection to flourish.
We're making room for the divine.
Beautifully said. And when we cultivate gratitude and mindfulness, we're actually inviting that divine presence into our lives.
And creating a space for inner peace and joy.
Exactly. It's like we're connecting with that inner spring that Saadi describes in his poem.
That source of renewal and beauty that's always available to us.
And the more we connect with that inner spring, the more we realize that we're not separate from the beauty and wonder of the universe.
We're all part of it.
Yes, we're all interconnected.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. It's both humbling and empowering.
Yeah, humbling because it reminds us that we're just a small part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Right.
And empowering because it shows us that we have the potential to connect with that infinite source of beauty and renewal.
That's the beauty of Saadi's wisdom. It's both timeless and timely.
It speaks to our deepest human longings.
For meaning and connection and joy.
And it gives us practical guidance for navigating the challenges of our modern world.
Exactly. It's a path to not just surviving, but thriving.
And it all starts with a simple shift in perspective.
A willingness to open our hearts and minds.
And to embrace the beauty that's all around us.
Absolutely. And what's really amazing is that Saadi's message is just as relevant today as it was centuries ago.
It's like he knew what we would be going through.
I know, right? It's like he's offering us this timeless antidote to all the chaos and uncertainty of modern life.
He's reminding us that even in the midst of difficulty, we have the power to choose how we respond.
We can choose to focus on beauty.
To cultivate compassion.
And to create a more harmonious world.
Both within ourselves and in our communities.
And that's what makes Saadi's work so enduring. It speaks to the deepest longings of the human heart.
It transcends cultures and centuries.
It reminds us of the power of love and beauty and the human spirit.
It's a message that we all need to hear.
Now more than ever.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Saadi, let's carry his message with us.
Let's remember the power of perspective.
The importance of gratitude.
And the transformative potential of cultivating a heart-centered awareness in our lives.
Let's go out into the world with fresh eyes.
Open hearts.
And a willingness to be enchanted by the beauty that surrounds us.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the wisdom of Saadi.
We've got 49 more episodes to go with Dr. Dinani and Dr. Larijani, so make sure to tune in next time as we continue to explore the rich and inspiring world of Iranian philosophers.
Until then, may your hearts be filled with the beauty and wonder of spring.
And may you find that inner spring within yourselves.